Picking up where we left off, the third element of drama I'd like you to consider is plot. Pay attention whenever you're reading a drama as to whether or not the plot is written chronologically, meaning what happened first, what happened second, what happened third, or if the plot is interrupted by flashbacks, flash forwards, or what we call dream sequences. Throughout Death of the Salesman, Willie Loman, the protagonist, will experience many dream sequences where he is sort of half in reality, but also half in memory, where he is envisioning things that are not really there. Uh, Equally important to the way in which the plot is arranged, time wise, is we want to consider what the main conflict is. Is the main conflict between two characters, right, which would be man versus man, or maybe a character and a set of other characters? Is it man versus nature, or man versus some sort of supernatural power like a god? Man versus society, or man versus himself? In the case of Death of a Salesman, there is certainly many of these conflict forms will arise. Willie Loman is very much in conflict with his wife and his children. He is very much in conflict with society's expectations of him, as is Biff. Biff is also very much in conflict with society's expectations of him. And he's also very much in conflict with himself, the image that he would like to consider himself, or the man that he would like to think of himself to be, and the person who he actually is. Like short fiction and poetry, literary elements work together in order to create meaning, and the meaning of the text is the theme. Themes are never single words. They are, when we're communicating themes, they're never single words, but they are ideas, and then what is the drama or what is the text communicating about the idea. But as you're reading, you're not going to really understand the theme until you finish the text. So it's important to pay attention to what ideas seem to reemerge throughout the play. In the case of Death of a Salesman, look for patterns of ideas connected to the idea of gender and masculinity, capitalism and the American dream, family and betrayal, and then abandonment. Lastly, I want to talk about symbolism and motif. Um, Symbolism is when a object represents a bigger idea. Motif is a repeated object or a repeated symbol that develops in meaning throughout a text. So its meaning may emerge over time, or may develop over time, and it may shift right throughout the text. Um, Whenever you're reading drama, look for repetition of objects, repetitions of imagery, and repetitions of sound. In the case of Death of a Salesman, we have several symbols or motifs that are going to emerge throughout the play. So I want you to pay very close attention to whenever you hear the woman's laugh, and that'll make sense to you as you begin reading the play. Similarly, whenever Uncle Ben appears, there's a flute music that accompanies him. So think about what that flute music may symbolize or how it develops throughout the play. Likewise, the idea of wilderness, the escape to Alaska, the escape to the quote unquote Western frontier or to the jungle, will repeat itself throughout the play. And Willie's car, which will appear at the beginning of the play and then again towards the end of the play. Um, think about how the car may be connected to ideas of success and capitalism and the American dream. Um,